forward in a positive way. I think we had the opportunity to have candidate Kenneth Smith, who's running for mayor of the city of North Chicago, with us here in studio. So that's always kind of fun to have a guest. It's good to get a lot of our guests call in, but welcome to the show. Welcome to WCTT and Choose Do.
Thank you, thank you. And when I had the option to be on the phone or to come in, I have to come in.
Well, welcome to the show, and I'm glad you're able to make it in for this last half hour of the show. So you're running for mayor of North Chicago. A lot of people don't know there is a North Chicago, but we do. And so I'll just start off with the most obvious question. What is it that drove you to say, I'm going to get in this race? And what is it that you feel is the biggest reason for you to be in the place?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to be on your program. But the answer to that question is, to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been brought up in the church. So in the church as a minister also, I served the people. And then when I decided to run for alderman, that's serving the people at a different level. Then I decided to run for mayor, which again is serving the people at a different level. So that's my whole motivation, is to serve the people.
Got it. So when you started down this path, what were some of the, I would say, not objections, but obstacles that you have run into, or challenges that you're seeing in running for this position?
I guess I would say one of the things is having the pulse of the people. If you take your two fingers and put it on your wrist, you feel your pulse. That's one thing I can say. I have the pulse of the people, and by serving the people, being amongst the people, you have a better idea of what the people want. And what I always do, I ask the people, what are some of the things that you want to see done in our city? That's how I have the pulse of the people. And I will coin my phrase of saying that I'm the people's mayor, because I'm about doing the things that are best for the people.
So what's the population of Chicago?
30,000.
30,000. And from a voter standpoint, in terms of having a pulse of the people, what has historically been the percentage of folks registered and that do vote?
Ooh, I really don't want to answer that question, but the voter register is low. We have approximately 8,000 registered voters. I think the last turnout was about 600 voters. And so that's why I say it's sad to say, but I am definitely working on getting those numbers up. And one of my goals is to break a record of voter turnout at this next election.
Okay, so you get elected, but whatever the numbers are, your term, you're going to be doing all the things that you do as an elected official, and then you're going to get to this next term where you're going to run again. Between elected this time and the next cycle, what are you planning on doing to get voter registration and involvement up as a representative of the city of North Chicago?
Glad you asked that question. I do have an answer. I think going back to when I first got involved in politics, per se, was in high school, and I ran for being the president of our class. So taking that and going to the next level, which is one of my phrases that I use in my political campaign, everything next level, we're forgetting about those 18-year-old, 19-year-olds, getting them involved in politics. I go to the National League of Cities, and I see a group mad, like 30 kids from their city. And to me, that's a key that our cities are not doing, getting the young people involved. Another thing, when I was growing up, they had a get to meet the mayor, where the kids could run to be the mayor for the day, get involved with the operations of the city. And I think that's something that I would definitely do to get the kids excited about being involved in the politics and the operations of the city.
So younger voters is going to be one of your, for lack of better words, target groups in terms of getting, and then absolutely, and their participation. What are you hearing from younger voters when you're out campaigning right now? Or younger citizens?
That nobody cares about them, that they don't have anything for them. And I understand what they're saying, because, for example, when I grew up, Thursday night, open gym. We look forward to that, and then Saturday morning. We don't have that anymore. and not only just open gym because we have to change with the time. I'm a photographer. That's my by trade. And when I started taking pictures, it was film. And I had to change with the time or I would have got left behind. So now digital, and it's digital now is great because back then when you taking a picture, everything that you take with was bad, good or ugly, you had to pay for it. Bad boy, yeah. Digital, just delete. But again, with our society, we don't change with the times. The city will get left behind. Our young people, they don't really have it. Everybody knows to play basketball. And for example, one of the things in our city is a growing thing is soccer. All right. But again, everybody's not in the sport. You need to have every kid now, even little kids have a phone. So having things where they can have video game challenges and competitions, that's where that generation, that's where the generation is right now. But having things of changing with the time, finding out where our young people are and meeting them where they are.
Do you think that, and this is kind of not a rhetorical question, but it seems as though, and I'll ask this question, that's probably the big miss of a lot of folks running for office is that it's not knowing what folks want. And we're talking about young folks in this particular part of the conversation. And then saying, okay, well, we got the tools to work and make that happen. So they missed that. It's a micro thing, but it's an opportunity to make that micro thing a bigger thing.
Yes.
How many times, or not how many times, but going back to the conversation around age of voters, are older voters feeling disenfranchised too, or are they? What's happening there in the city of North Chicago?
Mostly with our seniors are concerned about the taxes going up. Fortunately for us, our city taxes have not been raised in a while, but it's the county assessors which are raising the taxes, and just educating our citizens on that fact and letting them know that you can challenge the county assessors what they've put on your paper. A lot of us don't know that information. So by having classes, then giving them assistance, because a lot of our seniors, they're not going to do it. But if you show them how to do it, because knowledge is power. There's supposed to be a commercial. Knowledge is a terrible thing to waste. But if you don't have the knowledge, you can't do anything with it. And then this really good book I read, it says where there's no vision, the people perish. So you have to give people the information so that they can move forward. And then once you give them that, then it's up to them whether they're going to do something with it or not.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that what's going through my mind, and anyone interrupting, you're talking about children or younger folks. So it's like children, but younger folks not having something to do or providing things for them to do. What popped into my mind is the word civics and civic engagement. And I've seen a reduction in the focus on civics, a reduction in sort of social and civic engagement. What are you seeing in that space?
Exactly that. Again, for example, one of the things that I would have put in place is a Friday night get together of poetry where they can come together. Back in the day, we had like what they call a coffee shop. Yeah, and since everybody drinking coffee, that would be a great thing, but maybe not have coffee, but a Friday evening, a Saturday, they can come together, do poetry. They can come together and have poetry competition or come in just to socialize in a safe environment. And that's the key word, because a lot of the people in this generation don't feel safe. They don't feel safe.
Youth engagement is a big part of your platform. And if you listen to the show or you heard Willie this morning, I talk about sort of this collective energy, cohesive thinking. Your North Chicago is connected to so many other communities in and around northern Illinois, obviously Chicago being the main or the largest city. How are you, or what are you planning on doing in terms of engaging with other mayors, other county officials, obviously Mayor Johnson here in Chicago, Governor Pritzker? What's sort of your, full windshield view of what you want to be able to do in terms of engaging with them?
Okay. since you said Governor Pritzker, I have taken several. Being a photographer. I've taken pictures of Governor Pritzker several times. Our local mayors, Keegan, Lake Ford. I mean, different Highland Park, the near from Highland Park. I've taken all of their pictures, so I know them personally. But again, of coming together and sharing the ideas, because no man is an island. But if you have a good idea, I have a good idea. Let's sit down. Let's come to the table. Work together, and together, the acronyms for teams. Together, each accomplishes much, and that's important to me because I don't know everything, and all of my ideas are not the only ideas, but we all come together with our ideas and put them together. That's how we can all become great.
Yeah, I said so many times on this show, I know a lot, but I don't know everything. So when someone calls in, Kenneth, and they have a comment or an observation about something, I take it as great contribution to the greater good of what we're trying to get done here. I appreciate your answer in that regard about, making sure that your ideas, which may not always be perfect, you share them and you are receptive to other ideas from the other folks, because that's where you find out, okay, we're not as far apart as we thought we were. We're closer and we have a lot more in common.
Half empty, half full.
Absolutely. Exactly, you're right. And so, you may have heard this, but I talked a little bit about, with regard to the fire that happened in California, which are just awful and horrendous, and the weather patterns that we have throughout the country, which we know that are problematic. There's no doubting that. Some people may want to, but in the real world, you cannot doubt that. You cannot look away from that. But infrastructure is another part of your platform, and it's something that I have been talking about for a long time because I drive a lot. So for me, infrastructure immediately is fixing potholes. And I'm not blaming people. I'm just saying, how come we haven't fixed these potholes? Or how come we haven't fixed these bridges? Or how come we have issues with water quality and air quality? Right here in Chicago metropolitan and suburbs and northern cities. Talk about your view of what infrastructure really means.
All right. You ever heard this? Can I ask you a question? I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
How do you eat the elephant? As big as an elephant, how would you eat the elephant?
One bite at a time.
Exactly, one bite at a time. So how I attack infrastructure is what I've been doing as an alderman. We have what's called a hot box. It's this hot box. It heats up the tar, and you start filling up the potholes. And that's what I was doing as an alderman. I would drive through the city myself, call a public works department. Hey, we got a pothole over here. We need this fixed over here, because everybody wants the whole street fixed. But you start with that elephant philosophy. You fill up the pothole here, and then one of the things we just done, we just fixed the whole street. So it's a long stretch of street. Everybody's happy now, but it takes time to do the whole city. But you can start with the little thing, fixing the pothole, because when you hit a pothole, there goes the rim. There goes, and now the residents are mad because now their cars messed up. Or the younger generation, their rims. They pay a lot of money for their rims, and now they're mad at the city because the city said, well, that's your fault. It's not. But no, you have a responsibility. We have to take responsibility for fixing those simple things. Fix a pothole. You have the equipment, fix it.
What about the money that to be allocated for those fixes? A lot of time, this, what the comeback is, well, we don't have it in the budget. To me, that's a vision issue. That's a short range, mid range, and long range, for lack of a better word, lacking to not have the vision to say, okay, let's allocate to fix these potholes. Then let's allocate to fix these, the one pothole. Now let's fix 3. Now let's fix 5. And you walk with me on.
Where there is no vision, that's a good book I read. Where there is no vision, the people perish. You have to have vision. North Chicago, there used to be, when you drive into the city, the theme of the city was a city of vision. That's one thing I would not become the mayor. Yes, sir. I would definitely put that back, a city of vision. But again, going back to answer to the question, you have to have that vision. For example, a lot of the citizens complain about the sidewalks. We don't even have sidewalks throughout the whole city. here, a sidewalk here, sidewalk there. Let's make the sidewalk for everybody. Now, it takes time and money to do that. But how do you do that? We do a section at a time. Fix the roads a section at a time. Potholes are simple fix. Yeah, we can't do the whole street. We'll work on that the next year. We'll do another street the next year. That's how you solve the problem.
People want to see progress. And sometimes it's the pothole at a time that shows people visually, literally, there's progress because we got this one fixed. Now we're going to get this one fixed. Sometimes, though, what people want to hear is what the vision is and the plan, so that folks can link themselves to something. How are you going to get the vision that we just discussed out there, so that the people who should be following, who want to follow you, don't perish?
All right. All right. So I'm excited about that because Great Lakes is the naval base that we have right in our city of North Chicago. Parents come in every 2 weeks for graduation from all over the United States. But they come into North Chicago with all of their money, come in on a Wednesday, because graduation's on Thursday now. But they come there, but then they leave North Chicago and go to surrounding cities to spend the money because we have nothing there. Part of what I would want to do is build up our city. Right there by the naval base, we have plenty of land. We're going to just got money to clean that land up, build a nice hotel there, build a nice steak restaurant there, nice store where the kids can just walk across the railroad track, go shopping, go back. Families come in town, they can spend that money in North Chicago and not take that money elsewhere. So when people see that, and not only with the hotel, we don't even have a hotel. Most people that have, we have the great Lakeshore Drive. I mean, not Lakeshore Drive, but we have a view of Lake Michigan. We want to build that lakefront up. That's what I was looking. Build up our lakefront, a nice hotel, make it high enough where they can see the lake. Cut down a few trees. We're building up our beach, and then also North Chicago was awarded #2 for the best place to start a business. And so building that up, bringing more businesses into North Chicago, and teaching our young people about being an entrepreneur. I'm a photographer, as I said, and I started in high school. And 40 plus years later, I'm still taking pictures because of starting in high school. Back then we had wood shop, automotive, home neck, learning how to cook. And I can cook today, but mainly because of my mother, but again, getting these trades and teaching our young people how to be an entrepreneur. Another thing I just want to say, our schools they didn't really prepare us for real life. They didn't tell you about being an entrepreneur, saving money. They taught us a lot of things. I'll say this real quick. So I was in algebra class. So one of the things that I got credit for in our class was class participation. So I raised my hand in algebra. I said, Mr. Fate, that was my teacher's name, I'll never forget. Mr. Fate, what am I going to use algebra for? I caught him off guard. He came back the next day. Well, if you're going to be an astronaut, if you're going to be an engineer, I said, Mr. Fate, what am I going to use algebra for? Because to me, it wasn't really getting me ready for the real world. So again, getting our young people the mind of investing, getting them in the mind of having your own business, working for yourself and not working for somebody else.
And that's a global, I don't mean global in terms of the world, but global thing from an educational system in the United States that I've actually said that our systems don't do enough. And some people want to make the partisan argument, the biased argument of public schools versus charter schools versus private school. At the end of the day, it's all educating our youth. So we all should participate together to make sure that our youth is better educated and better forward thinking and planning. So I agree with you there in terms of that's one of the things that's an opportunity. Building a hotel, taking land that's there that you can clean up, giving people more access to the beachfront and to the lake, the ocean, to the lake, and being able to take part of that. Do you feel that you can make some effort to create or provide North Chicago with the destination that's a place of that where people want to come to? What are some of the things that you could do to kind of orchestrate that?
That's the key word. Make it what? Are you familiar with Gurney?
Oh yeah.
What is Gurney known for? I just held
Six Flags.
Six Flags and the mall. It's known as a destination place. So yes, I want to make North Chicago a destination place. So when mom and dad get ready to come to junior, graduate, ooh, North Chicago, they have this there. Building up North Chicago. And again, that goes back to marketing. If they don't know what's there, they can't enjoy what's there before they come. But building up North Chicago, making it a place of destination for people can, when they leave, they say, oh, you ought to go to North Chicago. We had this great ceremony and they had this great hotel and all these, making those things. But again, it goes back to marketing. You have to put the information out there. As a photographer, I have a saying, yes, I got my pictures taken by Kenneth Smith Photography. I could be in Walmart. Hey, yes, I got, people that know and got the pictures done,
Well, here's an idea. It just popped into my head in terms of the photography, because I remember, that was one of my classes that I took in high school. Loved it. One of my favorite classes. I did pretty well in it. And the reason I think I did well is that it was teacher, but it's also an area that it was an area of discovery for me. Taking pictures was a thing to go and do that allowed me to see so much through the lens of a camera, but also when you take the camera down. And that's a whole nerdy thing about being a photographer. You know what I'm talking? Yes, sir. It's all right. So when we were talking about destination and things to do, comes to North Chicago items. One of the things that popped in my mind is creating a go-to thing or a destination thing for those who are photographers or people who like photography. I don't know, that maybe it's a thing that you could make as part of coming to the city of North Chicago as a great destination for those who are photographers and those who appreciate the outdoor aspects of that part of Illinois.
So here's that's good. Here's one on that same page. An idea that I thought about doing was setting up a class, maybe whether it be free or for the kids, but everybody has a phone.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is what was in the back of my mind when I thought about it. Go ahead. Sorry.
So let me ask you a question. When you buy a phone, brand new, what's the most important thing in the box?
Oh, gosh. The most important thing in the box for me, it's probably the power cord.
Hey, you would say the power cord. There's a lot of different answers, but a lot of people don't get the right answer. You know what the most important thing in that box?
The instructions. Yes, it is.
But you know what? How many people take time and read the instructions? They don't.
They don't know what the phone is.
Exactly. All they do is turn it on and start pushing buttons. And that's how a lot of people do it. They go through life just pushing buttons when they don't have an instruction, or going back to our city, they don't have the plan on where the city is going. And that's one thing I want to do is have a plan. I have a plan. I don't put everything out there yet, but I do have a plan of taking the city forward, taking the city to the next level with the infrastructure, working with our young people, working with local government and surrounding government. But going back to the phone, the plan I would do is have a class and teach them how the things that you can do with your phone. The phones now are so, the quality is so good now. You could do a lot, but if you don't know how to really navigate when taking the good picture, a lot of people don't, a simple thing, cleaning your lens off.
Yeah, I know. This will make you laugh. I was with family, as we all are during the holidays, as we're starting to wrap up the show today. And the conversation kind of morphed into the phone being able to do some sort of, I forgot what it was now. But the point is, I was sitting there going, I didn't realize my phone could do this. And I was one of maybe two people in the house that had an Android. Everybody else had an iPhone or and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that they could do that. And I kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to show my ignorance in their space. But it was a moment where I was like, read the instructions. And it would tell you that you can do that with your phone. And the same is true with what you just said about, in general, people do. That's part of the vision. And I applaud you for seeing that as part of your development of youth, your development of folks who are a little bit older. Part of your infrastructure conversation is having the vision to say we're going to move forward and we're going to make sure that we have progress in our community. And that's what a lot of folks, I think, are excited about when they can happen to what a politician, elected official is talking about. What's the vision? Where's the goal we take this? So good on you for that. Are you excited about this upcoming election?
I'm very excited. I I got some negativity feedback initially, but now people see what I'm doing because it's just sharing, I'm going against a 20-year incumbent. And so like, oh, you can't do that. That's never been done. Woo, woo, woo. No, but there's a vision. Well, this country was built on a vision.
Yeah.
North
Forward.
Yes. And
And North Chicago is not separate from that. It's you're creating a mindset for a vision, and I'm happy. How can folks find you? Where do they go to follow you, find you, to contribute, to be involved, whatever?
www.kennethsmith.vote. Again, www.kennethsmith.vote, or you can call me at 224-595-7525.
There you go. Kenneth Smith, candidate for the mayor of North Chicago. Good to be with you this morning, and thanks for stopping in to chat with us. Thank you for dealing with us. Thank you. Hey, guys, we're wrapping up the show today. As always, as I say to everybody, and we appreciate you following us and calling in and texting and all that good stuff. Take a deep breath. It will count. We'll see you tomorrow.